Hello everybody, my name is Johnnysigs. You can call me the Suit if you like, or just Suit if you're feeling extra lazy. And today we're going to be taking a look at another Dota 2 lesson. Today is Lesson 2, Part 2. And this is going to be the importance of map awareness and ganking. So it's a super important lesson. Almost all of Lesson 2 is going to be important lessons. And we're just going to talk about the importance of keeping your eye on the mini-map, keeping an eye on where the map or where the enemies are, and where you should be focused on being. So let's go ahead and jump right over to, yes, in case anybody's wondering, I'm in a suit today. We're going to jump over to game and just start to watch what I'm going to be doing here. So let's say that you're in mid lane. Because it is easiest to gank from mid lane, but it's not the only place that you can gank from. You can gank from all over the place. But let's go ahead and say, just from the perspective of a mid person, this is going to change for other lanes, and I'll do videos for the other lanes later on, but for right now I just want to get the point across of map awareness and how you should be thinking when there are certain scenarios going on. So the first thing that is going to be the major help to you is over here, and that is your mini-map. Your mini-map is going to help you out the most when you're trying to figure out when to gank and when you're going to get ganked, when you might be getting ganked. So on the mini-map, enemies show up as X's, allies show up as dots. You can see that up here there are 2 enemies. Down here there is only 1 enemy. We just saw the other one over here, but there's only 1 here, so it could be potentially that they're setting up for a gank. She's leaving lane to come mid or something like that. And then in mid lane, you can see that there's a red dot there, or a little dot there, and that's the enemy. So we're going to talk about scenarios where they might be coming to gank you. So if you're on the side of the Dire, you can see how far out they are pushed, even to their own, like, just by themselves. I mean, these are bots, but they are pushed out super far from their tower. So, I mean, that's a scenario when it would be key for mid to come down and gank. And right now, not so much a good time to come down and gank because they're super close to their tower. So, you can see that I left my mid lane. I'm losing XP, I'm losing farm, I'm losing harass on sniper in the chance to come down here to try to make something happen. Now, invisibility is a great help. It's a great bonus for anybody who's trying to gank. But you can see now how close they are to that tower, so they can just easily just walk away. And you don't want to overcommit to towers in this game early on. So let's take a look at top lane now. In top lane is they're doing some harass on the enemy heroes, but again they're super close to this tower. So not only did I waste my own gold and XP and harass time, but now I've allowed sniper to free farm, get gold, focus on last hits, and catch up in levels. Any level advantage that I had, he's caught up pretty closely. I started the game off with 3 levels on him, and just for the purpose of being able to gank, and he's already caught up now. So the best advice I can give you if you're in mid lane is only gank when you know you're going to get a kill. If the enemy is super harassing down here in bot lane and they're at this tower, and they're getting ready to dive, and they're diving, and they're running into the woods, and they're just focusing on hammering down this tower, you can go gank. But in a situation like this, where they're literally behind their tower, or in front of their tower, it's so hard to gank that scenario. So your best bet is to stay in lane, farm up, get gold, get XP, harass heroes who are more item dependent than you, and all that good stuff. It's gonna pay off in the long run. But we can see that sniper is caught up now in levels. So this is a bad spot. You gave away any advantage that you had in your own lane to try to make something happen in another lane, and you didn't make anything happen. So everybody's losing at this point. Now you're saying, wait, John, but towers are a lot more forgiving than they are in, say, League. They don't hit nearly as hard, and they just hit faster. Well, yeah, but if you take 600 damage from a tower, you're still gonna die under the tower. It doesn't matter if it's not doing a ton of damage to you. If you're taking 140 damage, if you're taking 200 damage, that's still a ton of damage early on in the game, and you don't want to just be taking damage. So what's a good way to start to gank then? Well, the game gives you runes, and we're going to talk about these in the next video, but these are runes. They spawn periodically in 2 spots on the map. The first one is right here, and the second one is right here, illustrated by these slightly glowy locations. All right? And these runes can be attacked. You can kill them if you don't want somebody to pick them up. Or you can get them and help out your ganking chances. And again, we'll talk about runes in the next video because they do have such an influence on ganking. But, see, for example, now we can see that Kunkka and Crystal Maiden are super close to our tower. They've popped mana pots. They're low on life. And we can come up and try to make something happen now. Our teammates are coming up too. So they might be getting ready to do something as well. So this is the time to gank. There's a stun, and right like that, that's how you gank. You're going to pick up a double kill there, hopefully get a double kill anyway. Long range stun there by Vengeful Spirit, and a good cast of a W there by Zeus. But now you can see that Sniper is missing in mid. So again, always be watching the mini-map, because now I'm out of mana, I'm kind of low on life. If Sniper came up here and ulted me and got a few good shots off on me, I would be dead. But he is still in mid farming up, so it's okay now. But map awareness is going to be the key to success in this game. I'm a level behind now, but I've caught up finally. But map awareness is the key. You're not going to want to forfeit gold and XP, and there it is right there. That's what you want to avoid. Now, if that had happened in River or something, that would have been devastating. It's still devastating here. You lose a ton of gold every time you die. You lose time to farm. You're down for 15 seconds. I'm losing out on time getting XP and farming, and Sniper is getting XP and farming all by himself. So when I'm personally playing, and I don't expect new players to do this, but we're going to go ahead and just stop watching that game because this is getting close to the end of the video. But when I'm playing a game, I am watching the mini-map more often than I'm watching my own screen. If I'm just last-hitting creeps and farming up, I'm watching the mini-map more than I am watching my own screen. And again, I don't expect you to pick this up if you're new to the game, but it's something to work on. It's something that you're going to want to start training yourself to do is look in the bottom left, look in the bottom left, look in the bottom left, look in the bottom left. Right? Your neck should start to hurt from doing this. But it's going to keep giving you advantages in the game. And we're going to go over other things in the next video, including rune control, which has to do with warding. So we're going to go over warding again, because it's super important for not just a basic mechanic of the game, but for a lane ganking, awareness, safety, protection, rune control, chasing down enemy heroes that have very little life and have a stealth mechanic or a speed mechanic or something like that. Super, super important is ward placement. So we're going to talk about that in the next video, because we're going to have to be talking about rune control at the same time. So rune control, map awareness, all that good stuff we're going to be talking about in the next video. I think that's all I really want to cover. I mean, if you're going to gank, just be sure that you're not going to be forfeiting XP and gold, because it's more beneficial to you if you're a good mid character. If you're a ganking mid character, it's different completely. But if you're just sitting in mid, farming up, you're doing what you should be doing. You shouldn't be focusing on ganking if it's going to get you in trouble or in an unfavorable position when you get back to mid lane. Like if you go out ganking for a long time and you come back and your opponent is level 9 and you're level 6, 7, right? Somewhere in there. That's a huge level gap. It's not terribly difficult to come back from, but it's still going to be an issue for you. So you're going to want to make sure that you step away from the mentality of you need to gank to can I gank, all right? It's not so much of the lane is pushed, It's going to be, is the lane going to be pushed when I get there? Are they going to notice me when I'm coming up river? Do they have wards in river? You're going to have to keep thinking about this, and this is a ton of information for new players to soak in. So the one thing that I want you to take away from this video, if you're just watching it and you're just new, you maybe just got your beta key, you don't even have your beta key yet, the thing that I want you to keep in mind, and one of two things that I want you to take away from this video, is look in the bottom left as much as possible. Keep your eye on the mini-map. It's going to show you when heroes are missing. It's going to show you the direction that the lane control is flowing in. Is it in control of your side, or is the opponent controlling the lane? It's just absolutely beneficial to control it, or is to keep an eye on the mini map so you can know where the control is. And then the second thing is, should I gank? Can I gank? Where do I gank? And that's three things, but it's all in the same like condensed format of, should I gank? Does the risk of losing gold and XP and possibly letting my opponent gain levels outweigh the advantage of picking up 2 kills in a lane, if I can do that? And then the other question is, are they still going to be there when I show up? Is the lane pushed? Is there a second creep wave coming? Are they at the tower already and the creep wave is dead? Because if the creep wave is dead, good chances are they're going to fall back to the next creep wave and they're going to be closer to their tower. So is it a full creep wave that they're pushing on? Are all the lanes accounted for? If you go gank bot lane, for example, and there's 2 people down there, but there's nobody up top, and your mid is now missing, it could very well be a 5-man push in bot lane, and you just walked into a 3v5 and you just got slaughtered. You gotta think of all the possibilities of ganking, and just remember that if you are not a ganking mid hero like Pudge, Razor, Zeus, Lina, Lion, people like that, Shadow Shaman, stuff like that, people who are meant to be leaving lane to get ganks, to get kills, people like Viper, Sniper, I'm trying to think of other really super item dependent mids, Shadow Fiend, stuff like this. People who are dependent on farm. Should you really forfeit that farm and that gold and that XP to go gank and potentially not even make something happen? So it's always something to keep in mind. Is my gank going to be worthwhile? Should I just sit in lane and farm? But you also have to keep in mind that when your allies in chat or in voice chat call mid missing, lane missing, top bot, whatever, individual characters missing, you have to keep in mind that you might be getting ganked. So always call mid Mia, a lane missing, ready, we're going to go back to game. Watch how long this takes. 1, 2, 3, like 4 seconds. Takes 4 seconds, and I was typing super slow. All right, I mean, look at the game clock up top, ready? Like 2 seconds to call mid Mia, or say Night Stalker missing. All right, something like that, or mid Mia, stay safe top, something like that. I mean, that's slightly longer. It only still took 3 seconds, but your allies will appreciate it when they realize that there might be something coming up to them. So keep in mind, always call Mias. They're helpful to your team. I know that you don't necessarily feel you need to because, oh, look, there's a mini-map. Yes, but in newer games, when people are getting used to the game, it's nice to call Mia. It's nice to call Mia. If you hit the voice chat, it all really just takes, just hit voice chat, and you say something like, Miss Mia. Right there. You push one button, mid Mia. Super easy, super effective, super helpful to your entire team. And I think that's it. I'm starting to ramble, but remember, map awareness, mini-map is your friend, call Mia's. Everybody should have a better time of that. And we'll be back with the next video, which is going to be talking about runes, what they do, when they spawn, where they spawn, ward placements, because again, it's a super critical, important part. So I apologize for this game going a little, or this video going a little bit long. I started talking about basically the same stuff over and over again, so you're gonna have to forgive me for that. But I will be back in the next video, guys. So until then, take care, and I'll see you in game.